No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today I'm bringing you a dope look into some important New York City hip hop history and beyond. My man Shea Davis is in the building.
Salute, salute. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm hyped to have this conversation because I lived in New York from 2003 to 2010. So I was kind of the time period in which you were doing your thing. And I definitely have a lot of memories of seeing you during the blog era and the early DVD era and all that kind of shit. So
when you was at in New York?
I stayed in Bushwick and Astoria during that time for the most part.
You was lit.
Astoria before it was like the nicest place on earth. It's like it's beautiful over there now.
Yeah. Gentrified.
Definitely. But all right, so let's talk about your early days, exactly where you were born and what it was like for you as a kid.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I grew up in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Patterson Projects. You know what I mean? Building 414 with my grandmother. I mean, my mom's had me, but you know, she was into the drugs and stuff, so she just left me with my grandmother, really my aunt, which is her sister. She left me with her sister, and my sister was raising me. Stuff like that. I was living in an apartment in the projects with them, you know what I'm saying? And then my mom's died probably like when I was like 9.
Right.
9 years old. Then my grandmother was taking care of me. Then she died.
And how many years apart?
I think like the same year.
Really? And what happened to both of them?
Well, my mom, she fell off the roof.
Right.
Yeah, because she came to the crib and she was knocking on the door and the music was loud. So we lived on the top floor. So you know what I'm saying? So she went to the roof to try to you know what I mean, go and knock on the window. And then she tipped over.
Holy.
Yeah, and she died.
Terrible.
You know what I'm saying? And then my grandmother probably like a year later. I mean, around the same year she died.
From complications, just old age or whatever?
Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I was the last person to see her before she died.
Really?
She said she wanted to see me. They snuck me in the hospital. Then I seen her. I held her hand and stuff like that. And then that same night, we got the call at 3 a.m. that she passed.
Wow.
Then I went to her funeral. The first funeral I went to her funeral. She had a smile on her face. She was real religious too, so
wow.
She had a smile on her face in the casket.
So how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I don't really got no brothers. I only got one sister that my mom's had.
Right.
Because we're originally from Alabama, but I was born in the Bronx.
Right.
My family moved to the Bronx, and then I was born out there.
But like when your grandmother passed away, how many brothers and sisters do you have around you that you were dealing with?
I didn't have no. I had one sister. She died too.
Oh, but she had already passed away at that point?
Who?
Your sister?
Yeah, my sister passed when she was little.
And what happened to her?
She has, I think, heart stuff or something.
Damn, that's a lot of bad luck.
Yeah, so I didn't really have no brothers, and I ain't had no brothers and sisters. The one sister I got, she's still alive, but she live in Alabama.
Okay.
That's where we originally from, my family, my grandmama and stuff.
Right.
And she stayed out there.
And so what becomes of your life once you've kind of lost your grandmother and your mom and you don't really have anybody else that you can rely on at that point?
I mean, at that point, all I was really seeing was my grandmother, really. My aunt was really working and stuff like that, so I was really seeing my grandmother and just friends. You know what I'm saying? Then my cousin, which is my other aunt, she got killed too. She got stabbed. She was living somewhere else, but the cousin was staying with me, Shea Davis. And he was like selling drugs and stuff, but he got killed, he got shot in the head. He got killed around the same year too. So that was really seeing him and then my grandmother. So once my grandmother died, it was really, my aunt came and got me from the apartment. She came and got me and said, yo, we gotta go, we moving. So she took me out the projects and we moved to Queens, Rosedale, Queens, nice suburban area. But you know, it's suburban then, but it's kind of stuff going on now. But you know what I'm saying, she moved me out there. And then I just had to you know what I'm saying, grew up from there.
Right. So looking back on it now though, what do you think seeing all that death at such a young age did to you mentally?
I mean, you know, it gave me like I don't know, I was a quiet kid. Like anytime they had Mother's Day and stuff like that, I didn't really want to participate and stuff like that. I was quiet. I mean, I didn't really want to go to school. I didn't really want to go to class and stuff like that. I never really grew up. I ain't had no brothers and sisters, so I wasn't really an interactive person like that. I was just a kid in the cut, just quiet, minding my business. Most of the time I got in trouble was because of something somebody did to me. Then I just had to hold myself down. But you know what I mean? I really was just a quiet kid, just growing up like that. Then at 13, I got caught up. I got locked up.
Right.
13.
So what was your perspective on the streets at a young age? Like, was this something that you were tempted by, or was it something you were always kind of involved in?
Yeah, I was just outside. Every time I go outside, it was just trouble happening. We young and dumb, so it was just stuff happening. And I just happened to be in the mix and getting caught up. You know what I'm saying?
And so how'd you get caught when you were 13? What were you doing?
Yeah, but I cut somebody. You know what I'm saying?
At what age did you start carrying razors?
Somebody gave me that razor. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gave me that razor. The first time I cut somebody gave me that razor. The second time I cut somebody in the same, like, the 4-month span. Second time I cut somebody, I grabbed it from my aunt. Her dresser, she had a little razor. I just grabbed it and took it to school with me.
Right.
And then I got in a situation in school, and I cut the dude in school. And then I went to DFY from both of them cases for 2 years.
What gave you the idea that you needed to, like, stab him in school instead of just
school,
scrapping?
everybody's, they doing stuff. They bullying kids, stuff like that.
Right.
Like I told you, I was just a quiet kid that was just, you know what I'm saying?
But you knew a bunch of other people that were carrying razors at the time? Like, that was kind of some normal thing?
Nah, not really. Nah, it's just that the first time I cut somebody, they jumped me. So my friend was like, yo, we gonna go see who that was, and he gave me the razor. It was an orange box cutter. So we went to find who the person was, and then when we found them, I cut him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They jumped me before that, like probably a couple of days before that, they jumped me.
Right.
So I went and told some dudes, and they said, yo, we gonna ride with you. I rolled with them, and then he gave me a razor and said, yo, take this razor.
And you cut his face?
Yeah.
And then did you end up, like, seeing him around and having to see the scar?
I seen it right there when it split open.
Right.
And when it first split open, I was like, damn. Then I just went home, and then, like, probably a couple of days later, police came to the house looking for me.
This guy told, or how'd they find out about it?
I'm not sure. I think somebody said my name and all that. Hey, Shea, come on. And then they put 2 and 2 together. And then, I don't know, they just tracked me down 3-4 days later. They came to my house looking for me.
And how much time did you end up doing in jail for this?
Like 2 years, 13 to 15 years old. 13 to, like, 16. At the end of my 13th, like, I was about to turn 14, all the way till I was 16. Then I got locked up again when I turned 17.
So that first 2-year bid, what did that do to you mentally? Like, was it?
That 2-year bid, I mean, that turned me a little bit. I know it was different. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't.
You're meeting a lot of kids who are worse than you, right?
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah. Then I started really being friends with the bad kids. Before I wasn't really friends with the bad kids like that. I used to be cool with them, but not really, you know what I mean, doing stuff with them.
But it's all these bad kids from all over the city kind of coming together, right?
Yeah, so I grew up around that for like 2 years, and I was young, 13 to 15, 16, so I'm like, it started being a little bit, I still wasn't bad, but I just knew how to move different. Like, I started to learn how to fight better, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, so I felt more confident, and then, you know what I'm saying? People
were carrying guns at this time in your neighborhood, or not that you knew of?
Nah, not that I know of. Yeah, at that age. But when I came home from DFY, yeah, they was carrying guns.
So what'd you get arrested for when you were 16?
Yeah, 16, 17.
What'd you get arrested for that second time?
Well, that time I got a couple of charges. I shot somebody in the neck. And then, you know what I'm saying, one of my friends robbed me that I was doing business with. He robbed me. Then I went to go get some guns in the Bronx. And on the way back, I got caught with the guns. You know what I mean? Had a big shootout with the police and shot a police and a bystander.
Wow. So, okay, that first shooting somebody in the neck, how the fuck did that happen?
That was happening because, you know, somebody tried to, you know what I mean? Niggas had beef with somebody. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They robbed me. Then after that, I seen him. I told the same story on Queens Flip, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to, know what I mean? Seems like I keep bragging about, you know what I mean, my gunplay, but.
Where do you even, like, when did you first realize that you needed to carry a gun?
Really, I wasn't really carrying guns, you know what I'm saying? Even to this day, I don't really carry guns. I just only use them to use them. That's it. Like, I wasn't really just a person to be walking around with a gun, you know what I'm saying? It's just that when it's time for some action, that I go get the gun and then I just use it. So I wasn't really the person to be carrying guns like that.
New York's a stressful place to carry a gun.
Yeah, especially from New York. I don't be want to get caught with no gun on me, stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, but so then you went back in. Was it the same kind of jail, or was it like a different?
Oh, nah, it was different. This is the big boys, Rikers Island.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's just way crazier.
Yeah, way crazy.
So what kind of stuff are you getting into in there that you
All type of stuff
didn't know about beforehand?
Rikers Island was different because I had a high profile case. I was on the news when, you know what I'm saying, with the police situation. So as soon as I got there, everybody knew me. I had beef with all the police. You know what I'm saying? All the inmates knew me.
Oh, because of this shootout thing with the cops.
It was automatically, it was everywhere.
This is the one where you dropped the gun on the subway?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I let it off first and then I threw it and dropped it.
Who'd you let it off on again?
I just whoever was chasing me, they was undercover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't really know what was going on. It was like, yo, get him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you stop. And I just turned around and then I popped. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I had the police and a bystander. You know what I'm saying?
So they definitely weren't feeling you.
Nah, after that, they you know what I mean, they came and locked me up. It was on the news. They was mad news. People was out there.
But so you got away, or they just like tackled you on the spot?
I got caught right there.
Okay.
I got away a little bit. The train was pulling off, and then they stopped the train. You know what I'm saying? Then I was sitting down. Police came, opened 2 doors. And then they see me. It was a person near me with a book bag. So they checked this bag and was like this. Yo, let me check your bag. They checked this bag. And then they just looked at me. And I just I probably looked at suspicious. And then they just said, yo, you. And they took me and they put cuffs on me. You know what I mean? I was with my friend. They locked him up first outside the train. Then when they seen me, I was on the train. So they stopped the whole train. They knew I ran on the train. You know what I'm saying? So when I was on the train, they just locked me up from there. And then as soon as I got out the train, I'm in cuffs. It was you know what I mean, news reporters, everybody was already ready.
So this is all in the news and everything. So by the time you get to Rikers, the COs and shit are very upset with you.
Very upset.
Full of hatred.
Yeah, very upset. They jumped me, you know what I mean, when I first got there. They did me dirty. You know what I mean? But they put me in a different house with all the police killers, stuff like that. Everybody who shot police and killed police and did this and did that, I was in that house for like probably 7-8 months.
Really?
I wasn't on the island that long, maybe a year. I was on that house for like 8-7 months, and then when I comped out, they put me in a regular house, and then I went up north. You know what I'm saying? That's not.
And so the guy that you were with, he snitched on you?
Nah.
Oh.
He ain't snitched.
So this guy held it down, but you still ended up getting how many years?
I got 6 years. I got 3 to 9, but I did like 6 off of that.
Right. And so at this point, like, how are you dealing with it? Like, how upset were you when you got that sentence?
I was stressed. He went home. He went home the next day, so I was a little stressed. He even went home from the pens before we even got to Rikers Island. He went home. That's my boy, though. He ain't snitching nothing.
Oh, okay.
We still did business and all that, did movies and all that together. But he went home to like the next day from the pens. He didn't even make it to Rikers Island. So, you know, I was a little stressed because we was together. So I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. Then I had to go through it myself. I was young, you know what I mean? 17, 16, 17. I was 16. And then I was just like, fuck it, let's do it.
You weren't in a gang at that time?
Nah, I was neutral.
When did the gang thing come around? While you were locked up or after?
But nah, the gangs was on the island. They had everything: Bloods, Latin Kings, Nietas. I was just neutral, but it was on the island.
Was that difficult being neutral when there's everybody having different sides and shit?
Not really. Depends, not really.
But you became a Blood later on?
Nah, I never was Blood.
Oh, okay.
I'm OTF. I'm only the fan. I started my own little situation called OTF.
You never were a Blood at any point? I thought you were from one of the videos or something.
Nah.
I forget. Okay.
A lot of Bloods, a lot of roll with me. A lot of Bloods roll with me.
Okay.
Crips. I mean, different type of stuff.
All right. And you were knowing Smack of Smack DVD before you got locked up, or did you meet him afterwards?
Nah, we was in the same school, but that was really like the one I got locked up with, that was his, they was cool. You know what I'm saying? So when I was when I came home, I got locked up again. You know what I mean? After I did my 6 years, I got locked up again for something else. And
what was that for?
It's a whole nother situation. Yeah, this time I was facing 30 years. This was This was serious.
You feel like you just got bad luck, or were you wilding?
Oh man, just my mind wasn't. My mind wasn't really. I didn't know how to control myself at this time. I was young and dumb, really. So even when I came home from jail, I still was like kind of institutionalized, and I still ain't really know how to control my mind.
You pick up a lot of bad habits in jail, probably too, in terms of being confrontational and
that
violent.
Too,
and
then
shit.
sometimes you get hungry and you got to do certain stuff to feed the family. So I got caught up in a situation, you know what I mean? And then I got locked up. And I didn't get caught on the situation. My friend, somebody I know, he got caught in the situation. He told on me, and then I got caught at parole. When I'm putting parole, they was like, "Yo, we looking for you to lock me up."
So what was the basic version of this situation that you got told on about?
Nah, it was a situation. I don't really want to know, man.
Okay.
But it was a situation.
Violent thing? Or?
Yeah, it was violent, and they offered both of us 10 years.
Right.
So I didn't want to take they offered both of us 10 years. I didn't want to take the 10. So I told him, yo, let's go to trial. You know what I mean? We could take this and beat this right here. Let's go to trial. He's like, nah, I ain't. Now, first he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Then I was like, yo, I'm not taking no 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? I'm going to trial. And we was on the same house together. When I first went to the Rikers Island, me and him was on the same house together in 3 Main or something like that, in the Beacon. We was in the same house together, and I'm like this. It was good, boy. Then I went to court, and my lawyer told me, he said, yo, he's telling. He showed me the statement and all that. His name is Lateef Owens. It's the dude named Lateef Owens. He's like, yo, he telling. I was like, well, he showed me the statement. I read the statement. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So now when I go back to the house, I'm like, yo, my nigga, my lawyer telling me, you telling, I seen the statement. He's like, nah, you bugging. Why would I be telling? You out of your mind. You know what I'm saying? And then like 2 days later, he packing up. I told the people, it was a couple of people in there with Dutta, a few people that was from my, you know what I mean, from my projects. And he was hanging with them when I first got in there, you know what I mean? Because you know the real niggas, we all stick together. So he looked like, he was like a real nigga to me. I mean, he was official. I knew him from DFY when I was 13, when I did that bid. I knew him from since then. That's how we got cool. And then even when I went up north, I met him again, and we was in Washington Correctional Facility, and we was cool. And then now I did my time, and I came home, and I bumped into him again, and we got cool again after the long bid. And some shit happened. We got caught up in some shit, and now we locked up together. He my co-defendant. So we in 3 Block. I see him with some niggas from my projects, and he chilling with them. So I'm telling my niggas like, yo, this nigga telling, man, I'm about to move on this nigga. But I didn't get a chance to move on him. 2 days later, he packed up. He acted like he had mental problems. And then when you act like that, they can send you out the house. So he went to the MO house. So the word got over there in the MO house. I told niggas over there, they jumped him anyway. You know what I'm saying? But that was really all they could do. And then I went to trial. Now as we going to court, we on a bus, but he's over there with the, you know what I'm saying, with the mental people. And I'm telling him like, yo, why you ain't going to trial? Let's go to trial. You saying you ain't snitching? Let's go to trial. This is serious, man. What we doing 10 years for? They ain't even got no evidence, none of this and none of that. And then he was like, nah. And then, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm going to trial. So I found that he was going to testify. He eventually testified against me, to make the long story short.
Right.
He testified and took the stand against me. And then now, the judge told me, he said, yo, you're going to get 25. If you lose, you're going to get 25. I mean, I was like, yo, let's go all the way in the middle of the court. You know what I'm saying? While we going to trial, after he testified and all that, while we going to trial, I told my lawyer, I said, yo, you know what? I might just take this 10. It ain't looking good. And my lawyer's like, yo. So my lawyer said, yo, judge, hold on, my client want to take 5 minutes. So when he said that, the judge said for 5 minutes, he's like, yo, this is worth money. For that, we're gonna add another 5. So that you gonna if you lose, you're getting minimum 30. I said, 30? I said, you know what, matter of fact, let's go all the way. And then I took it all the way, and I wanted to beating it. You know what I'm saying?
How'd that feel when you first got the verdict?
Oh, now I was crying and all that in court. You know what I'm saying? Smack came to court. You know what I'm saying? But that's how me and Smack got cool with the DVDs, because my friend that I got locked up with for the police shooting joint, he brung him up to come see me. I was doing songs over the phone, because I was in the Beacon, you know what I'm saying? I had like I was on the phone like 5, 6 hours on the phone, just doing studio time, talking to, you know what I mean, my wifey and, you know what I mean, kids, and just, you know what I mean, doing that. And I was laying songs, and the Smack went to the studio that I go to. It's called S&M Studio. He was going to their studio, and then he heard the songs, was like, yo, Shea is hot. You know what I'm saying? We was in the same school, but we wasn't really hanging out with each other. But like, yo, this nigga's official. He coming home. Cause I was telling everybody I'm coming home. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, I ain't doing no time. I'm coming home. I kept believing that I was gonna go home. And then next thing you know, Smack came to see me. He told me, yo, if you come home, I'm doing this DVD thing. You know what I mean? You hop on these joints and see what you could do.
So he wanted to fuck with you as a rapper.
Yeah, as a rapper, yeah.
And at what point did you actually start rapping? It was while you were locked up?
Yeah, when I was locked up on the Beacon fighting the trial, I started just writing crazy. Even when I was up north, I really wasn't writing. When I was home, when I was young, I always used to write. I used to rap. But I wasn't really taking it serious. I was just, you know what I mean, just doing whatever I do.
Who were you fucking with musically at that time that
Like
was
Cool
making
G rap, Cool G rap. You know what I'm saying? I would listen to a lot of Cool G rap. You know what I mean, that was my boy.
Because this was kind of like the DVD era, the like mixtape era. This is when like New York is kind of being run by like just the crazy ass like freestyle / mixtape era of G Unit and Dipset and all this kind of shit.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
And so like, what was your perspective on the DVD game? Because when you started kicking with Smack, was he already rich off that shit?
Nah, he was just starting. He did a couple DVDs. I was probably on like the 4th one. But you know, it was quiet. You know what I'm saying? It was really quiet. Then, you know what I'm saying? I jumped on the joint. I ain't know it was gonna be. I ain't know it was. I thought it was nothing. I wasn't on no mixtapes, none of that. I just did the first video. He told me he wanted the. When I first came home, he was like, "Yo, let's do it whenever you ready." So I stayed home for like 2 months. Then I got bored, and I said, "Yo, let's shoot something. I'm ready." So now he pulled up to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Put up to the crib and said, "Let's do it." We jumped in the whip, and I started driving the whip, and he was filming me on the passenger side, filming me in the passenger side. That was my first video, the Laws These Days video. You know what I'm saying? Then I took him to Patterson Projects, and we did a shot in front of my building, 414 in the Patterson. And I took him to Mitchell's with my other boys, Hellbound, you know what I mean? Iz and Justin them, you know what I mean? Party Artie was in it. Rest in peace, Party Artie. He was a nice battle rapper from the Bronx. He from my projects too. So he died too. But you know, that was the first video I did. After that, probably like 2 weeks later, we was in the studio, and Smack was playing the joint on the screen. That's when I first got my first feedback. Niggas was like, "Oh shit, this shit is, yo, that's you, yo, that's you." I was like, "Yeah, yo, yeah." I ain't know, I just thought it was regular, but then I started walking around, niggas was pressing me. "Oh shit, yo, Shea Davis, yo, that shit is hard." Then I was telling Smack, "Yo, when you gonna do the next one?" And Smack was like, "Ready, yo, we gonna do that. I need you on the next one." Then I started doing more and more and more, then it was lit.
Right.
It was lit. It was the second video I did, I ain't gonna lie, the second video I did, it was called, I think, no, it was the third video. It was called Guns Go Blam. Now, you see how they doing the drill and all that?
I think I seen it on YouTube earlier, yeah.
Yeah, but you see how they doing the drill and all that?
Yeah.
Before Onyx, you know what I'm saying? After Onyx, I was the only ones doing the video with the guns in the video. I just did the song by mistake called Guns Go Blam because they played the beat. My son played the beat in the studio, and I was like, "Oh, this is Shea Davis, my gun go blam." And then now, when it's time to shoot the video, I just went to the block with the song in mind. And the block is 109 God Brewer. That's one of the wildest blocks. That's where 50 and all of them, you know what I mean? They all be in that area. I went over there and shot the video, and all the goons came out with guns behind me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't tell them or nothing. They just was like, "Yo, this is what we gonna do. This is," and they had the guns in the video because it matched the song.
Because like after Tupac and Biggie, there was this long ass stretch where you just didn't see guns in music videos and shit, right? But then all of a sudden you have people like Smack filming hood DVDs and doing music videos on the corner, and all of a sudden there's no like, you know, music industry executives to tell you that you can't have that shit in the video, but you weren't even planning it. It was just like you get these people in the video, they're just gonna pull their shit out, even though even at that time, like gun laws were probably pretty crazy in New York, right?
It was still crazy. It was real. It was real crazy. That's why I wasn't really walking around with no guns. We was good because this is a block where we got the surveillance, you know what I mean? Where we know where police is coming and all that. So we good, but that wasn't my thing really. Even though we was moving around dangerous, But me personally, after doing all this time and all that, even before that, I just wasn't really carrying a gun person. I'm saying it's just that, of course, if shit hit the fan and I got beef, I'm going to go get it and go in.
I was watching one of your old music videos and you're like dangling a machete out the window.
Oh yeah. You know what I mean? That happened. Yeah, that happened too by mistake. Cause
that was a mistake?
Yeah, that was a mistake because my boy let me hold his car. It was an old school joint. My boy Vale, he let me hold a car. I jumped in the Nova and they was in the passenger side. You know what I'm saying? So I said, yo, let me see him, yo. I was on the corner of the block and on Linden Boulevard. That's in Queens too, on Sufton and Linden. And I seen the swirl and I just like, yo, I like these joints. I started sticking out the window driving. Yeah, we lit. You know what I mean? Had the Chinese girls in it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stuff like that. So it was like, yo, let's do it.
That was a raw-ass time period. But, like, what was your vision for your career? Were you trying to, like, build your name up and get signed? Or were you just thinking about doing it from more of a street level?
I don't know. I just was doing it. I was, of course, we was trying to get a deal. But I wasn't, like you said, at that time, my mind wasn't really focused on really just nothing.
Right.
And we was lit already. In my mind, I thought we was going to get a whole situation, like with the smack. My mind wasn't really on business. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I wasn't even thinking about that. You know, we was getting money for shows. We was doing little tours and stuff like that. I mean, I was getting money, but it's just a deal. I don't know. I never really, you know what I'm saying? I never sat down. I still, to this day, I never got no deals. You know what I'm saying? I never sat at no tables, nothing. I never really had a deal. Everybody else got deals. They had managers. I never had no manager. I'm saying everybody else had managers and stuff like that. I never really.
But you came up at a weird time where the internet was kind of like taking over and people weren't selling physical CDs, but streaming wasn't a thing yet. So it was like, and the music industry hadn't really like adapted. They hadn't like figured out how to make money off of a street rapper at the time. Whereas now when you look at like the Bronx drill scene, I hear about one of these Bronx drill kids getting signed for like 100,000, couple 100,000 like every fucking week. And a lot of these kids are like, they got like one song with 1 million views, but they're like 15 and they got a gun in the video. So it's like, boom, like the industry wants to sign them, which 100% would have probably been the type of energy that you would have been getting from the label if you had came out 20 years later or 5 years later or 10 years later, whatever it was. But yeah, okay. So were you making a lot of money at a certain point, or how involved with Smack were you at a certain point?
Nah, that was every time we do a video, he calling me, yo, no, I'm coming to get you. Know what I mean? He come get me, we bring a few goons, and then we go do what we gotta do. With the Big Meech, all that, I was there for all of that. When he first met Big Meech, yo, I got these, yo, this Big Meech in them, I don't know, yo, they lit, they getting money. You know what I'm saying? I was with them, I went with them, we met Big Meech, Blue, all them, everybody, all the videos that he was shooting, that even people was paying him, man, knowing this person, I was going to pull up, you know what I mean, with him. You know what I'm saying? And bring a few people in, you know what I mean? Make sure he was good.
And did you ever discuss Smack like actually signing you, or was it more of just him supporting you?
I thought he was gonna do like a big label deal with all these artists that was on it, or with all of us. I thought he was gonna get like sign all these people and try to get like 100 million, like how Little Baby and them did it.
Right.
That's what my mom was thinking he was gonna do. So I was just being patient, thinking that was gonna be the plan. But you know what I mean? His thing was he was tired of really chasing rappers. That was just his thing, because we had to keep chasing them. You know, some people you got to call and they're not picking up. Not the people that's going to pay, but the big names.
Right.
I mean, you know, sometimes they be busy. They not. It's hard to reach them. We still Smack DVD, but we not millionaires or nothing. We just like a visual situation for them. So it was hard to catch them. He was getting tired of that.
Yeah.
It was getting more easier for us, but he was getting tired of, you know what? And then he started doing the battles where he was doing it in the arenas. We was doing it in the parks at first, you know what I mean? But he started doing it inside where he could get paid from doing it. When he was doing the battles before, we wasn't getting paid for that. He was just shooting it and throwing it up.
I have this memory of like the Smack DVD, like one of the first ones I ever seen, and it's like Jadakiss just sort of hanging out outside on the block, and then there's just one of the dudes that's with him just fucking takes his gun out, just starts shooting into the sky. And I remember just being like I had just never seen something like that, like something that raw with Jadakiss, who at that time is basically like a mainstream artist who's on fucking MTV and he's all over the radio and shit, and then he's just like in a situation with somebody doing something that reckless, and I had just never seen that kind of shit. Even just Jadakiss, just raw footage of him hanging out on his block was like mind-blowing to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, I've just never seen, like, I never seen footage of 50, like, where he's just kicking it on the block for 10, 15 minutes straight. Like, that was such a new thing at the time.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why when you say, yo, where you get the swords and when you get the gun, because it was just the element of just life. I mean, yo, I'm doing a video called Gungo Blam on the block. Yo, word, Gungo Blam. They just had the guns out.
Right.
I see the swords in the side of the joint. I'm just pulling swords out on the block. I don't know. We're not really thinking of, you know what I mean? Even no business, nothing. We just filming and everything was moving so fast. We getting all this recognition. We thinking, yo, we good. We didn't even do really business part yet.
Right.
It started getting into the business, but when he started getting into the business, we did the cot situation. But when he started getting into the business, it was more into the battle. That's why he got the URL. Then he started doing that and was like, yo, the streets, man.
But were you ever interested in the battle rap side of things?
Yeah, I always thought about it. But you know, that ain't really my thing. I battled in jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's more harder in jail because it's different because you got to really be, you know what I mean? The battle rap is official, don't get me wrong, but in jail it's like, you know what I mean? We run the jails in there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the nigga in the jail that I got the phones on Smash. There's niggas in there using 15 minutes, 6 minutes. I'm using 6, 7, 8 hours on the phone. I mean, I was in there with Turk, you know what I mean? I think he was Ja Rule bodyguard or something. It was 3 phones. Turk had his phone where nobody can touch it. And then it was the blood flowing that's in the middle for only Bloods could touch it. And then they had the neutral phone where that's the phone that's really like my phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one rocking the most on that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is really scared to touch it because that's where the action is at. So now, that's when I started rapping, using my rap. And there, that's when I started battling in there. So I'm making up rhymes in my cell, and I'm battling them, but it's not really, niggas can't battle if you're not really, when they say lock in, everybody lock in, y'all making too much noise, y'all niggas gotta lock in. That's what the goons doing there. Y'all niggas gotta lock in, everybody locking in, except me and 3 other people.
Right.
So when it's come to battle, it's like, what you gonna say in your bars if you locking in and you ain't even touching the phone. So it was more, I mean, I was doing it then, you know what I'm saying? But out here, it's like, it's cool because it's a bag.
Right.
But it's like, I never really got into that really. You know what I'm saying? I only did it in jail where I feel it was more realer in jail.
It's kind of crazy because when you think about what Smack DVD was, it was basically like World Star before World Star came around. And it's like, it is interesting to think of Smack making that decision of choosing to go more in the battle rap event direction, which I'm sure he made a shitload of money off over the years and everything. But if he had been able to like realize like, oh, YouTube is going to become as big as it is now, he probably would have maybe like gone in that direction as well. Or actually, I would like to ask him that of just like how he kind of sees that now.
Because get him up there.
Yeah. No, because that's just like, at that time, like I knew a lot of people like that who kind of had motion doing like a media company or like a company doing DVDs or mixtapes or something, and then they just didn't really like make that transition into the internet because it was just so new and hard to make money off back then.
I don't know when YouTube came out. Well, yeah.
I mean, it was around in I think like 2003, 2004.
Yeah, because I remember when I went to Smack crib one day, he was doing some editing, and he showed me the YouTube. He's like, "Yo, this is the YouTube. You got to get this.
Right.
This is it." And I was like, "Word, what's that?" But it didn't look like nothing because we still was doing the DVDs.
Right.
He was like, "Yo, you got to get this." And to this day, I still don't got. I just got a YouTube like last week.
Really?
That I'm,
oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I threw a song up there and all. I threw some song, a mixtape up there. But this is my first YouTube. All my videos that you see up there, some came up there, some they took it down. But those are just other people who liked my stuff and just posted it.
Right.
I never had a YouTube all this time. And now everything is YouTube. I'm late on it, but you know what I'm saying? I just put a YouTube up there. I got my mixtape up there, Fire Drill. I mean, just to see, you know what I mean? I might start throwing content and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, it's got to be kind of weird that like all the stuff that you did in terms of music videos and shit hasn't been preserved very well online, which is honestly kind of a problem for a ton of shit from that era in terms of like mixtapes and all kinds of shit that just didn't make the transition to streaming services or never got uploaded to YouTube or whatever, where it's kind of like a whole era of hip hop that sort of has a lot of pieces missing.
Yeah, definitely. That's a whole, I mean, they got something. I think some DVD couture. I don't know if you know about it, but some people that just post up old DVD footage and old footage. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's like going in the wind now. Everything is, I mean, like you said, what you doing, podcasts and
right.
You know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But
it is interesting that nobody thought of podcasting until the internet took over. Because sometimes I think about that. Like, you could have been just in the 90s making VHS tapes of you just talking to people on camera.
Whoa.
And people would have said you were fucking crazy for trying to charge like $20 or whatever for a VHS tape of you just talking to somebody. But now that content would be like the sickest shit ever.
Big.
It took everybody a long time to realize the value of content. And I would say that it's still kind of undervalued, because there'll probably be more ways to make money off content as time goes by.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on a show now. I don't want to blow it up, but I'm trying to work on a little show too. That, you know what I mean? A nice little idea I came up with. Me and my friends and all that. So I'm gonna try to.
Any spoilers? The type of content that you'd want to make?
You know, it's definitely about people telling their life story, something like that. People telling their story, like even if somebody been through something, like if you got shot, you know what I mean? Telling us the story of how it happened and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's something in that type of.
So when we talk about that whole Smack DVD era / like when you were having this run, when did you start to feel like that kind of came to an end, or like what was the marking of the end of an era in that regard? Well,
once I started, like after Smack started doing the Smack, I started doing my DVD. It was called Blam DVD, broadcasting lyrics and music, because that's what everybody knew me from doing visual.
Right.
So now I was charging people to get on there, and I was filming artists, you know what I mean, like Yayo and Banks and people that I could get. And I was throwing my video in between there. But once I seen you could load up videos on YouTube, it was just a waste. It was a waste. You know what I mean? It wasn't really, YouTube was taking over.
So you saw people like stop spending money on DVDs?
Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? It was too easy just to throw it on YouTube now.
Right.
So it was like, just, you know what I'm saying? But I still never got into YouTube. I was basically just in the street, just getting how I could live it.
Right. Oh, so you were still in the streets while you were
not in the streets, but I was getting money other ways. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like what?
Right now I'm doing real estate, so.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
How'd you get into that?
Easy. Caught a couple dollars and just started flipping it. You know what I mean? Started off with a few houses in Ohio. You know, Ohio, my first house I caught for like 35 bands. I only made like 15 off of it, but you could sell a house for like 50, 60 out there. So I did a few of those, and then I just started saving and started, venturing out.
So you gotta like drive out there, or you do everything over the phone and email?
Nah, I was staying out there. I was staying out there for a minute.
Interesting. So, okay. And then did you ever end up getting locked up again since back then, or have you
after I beat the trial, that was it.
Really? How'd you have to change your life to avoid having more of those same problems you had when you were younger?
I just stood out the way. I had to move to the suburbs. I had to get out the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? I moved to the suburbs and just stayed out there, come to the hood here and there. I mean, once I got into the flipping the houses, made my little 20 bands every 2-3 months, I just stuck with that and just kept it letting. I just got off the scene for a minute. That's why some people didn't even see me, because I had to focus on that. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know what I mean? I had ADHD, so it was, I mean, I'm taking medicine now, but when I was off my medicine, I'm doing too much. I'm saying I'm doing everything. So I had to really put that to the side and focus on trying to get this money so I could pay these bills and feed the family.
Right. I mean, it's kind of weird because like when you're going through that period in your life where you're getting clout and like attention and shit, you kind of start judging yourself based on the amount of attention and clout that you have. But then certain things will happen to you in your life that makes you sort of check yourself and be like, I'm putting too much emphasis on this when I'm thinking more about clout than money. And that, like, you know, there's one thing only can last for so long, and one thing is something for you to actually like build something for yourself.
And then with me personally, you know what I'm saying, the clout was really in my way now, because you know, I've been, like you said, I've been since 94. When I got locked up with the police thing, that was 94. So once I went to Rikers Island in 94, everybody knew me, every piece of everybody, the nurses, the janitor, the inmate, because they keep playing it on the news over and over and over. So now they keep playing it everywhere I'm at. They play it, and then they look at me like, oh, that's you. So that was 94. So all that whole since 94 all the way, and then I came home and got on the smacks. And then now I got that clout. So that's 2004. So all that was too much famous. And then now, like you said, once Smack and them stopped doing that and the money slowed with that, now I can't sell dope. Because I can't go to the hood. I can't be in front of the building selling dope like everybody else. Everybody know me. So it's like, damn, I can't do nothing really.
Right.
I can't rob nobody. There's nothing I could do.
You got all that like hood fame and all the rap fame, but it's not really like obvious ways to make money off of it versus doing like real estate shit, which is not glamorous and nobody knows, but you might be making way more money than you could be making doing some shit that is getting you attention, but realistically isn't generating any money.
Yeah, and then it was too much overwhelming. Like, yo, it's too much. I mean, I'll get a little walkthrough here and there, a collabo for somebody in Switzerland. I do send them the collab, send them the verse and stuff like that. But, you know, it was a little bit overwhelming of, you know what I mean, too much people noticing you for no reason. So I was like, yo, let me focus on this.
And New York's a weird place to be famous.
Yeah, because it's only the boroughs. I was in Long Island, so I was still good over there. But when I go to the hood, it's lit. But it ain't no money really floating like that. You know what I mean? For me, you know what I'm saying? So I just say, yo, let me focus on these houses first. So I started to focus on the houses, and then now I got money coming in. So now it's different. Now I can focus on whatever else I want to do, like try to get into this production, movies and stuff like that, and the show I was telling you about.
Definitely.
I'm saving money, so you know what I mean? I just bought my house cash. Bought another house cash. I don't got no mortgage, so now I could focus on saving again and try to do these productions and stuff like that. I mean, I never ever signed a deal this whole time, so.
Is there a part of you that kind of regrets that and wishes that you could have seen what you could have done as a artist with a label behind them, or are you glad it worked out that way?
Yeah, it's all good. You know what I mean? Everything happened for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way I believe in, like the way God do stuff is like it happens for a reason. Even when I did the time in jail, even with the trial, even though it's a story that I'm telling, but I had to go through that. You know what I mean? It made me into this person that I am now. You know what I'm saying that I you know what I mean? It made me a stronger person. Even being in jail made me more aware of everything. It made me, I got everything. I don't need Ring camera. I'm on point with every situation. Even though I got all that, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, it helps me. I'm never slipping because I know I got 4 teenagers. I got 2 boys and then I got 2 teenagers.
So what ages are they? That's a small window to have 4
Yeah, it's
kids.
20, 22, 20. Oh, 22, 20,
not actual
18
teenagers.
to 17. Yeah,
right.
but
around
you know, like you said, I gotta still be. It helps me what I've been through because now I'm in the other day I'm in the house. The girls, they good girls, but it's 8 boys in my living room.
Where they just brought a bunch of dudes from school over.
I'm like, yo, not just friends that they meet. I say, yo, you can't move like that out here. It's good, they friends, but you can't have everybody in this house like that. You know what I'm saying? You let everybody know who we live at. It's cool, but yo, my nigga, that ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's just that what I've been through, it makes me into this person to where I could be, you know what I mean?
But does that seem foreign to like a young girl just like realizing that her dad is paranoid about people knowing where he lives because they could rob you or whatever? Because if you haven't been through that as a young person, you're probably thinking that sounds bugged out. You're paranoid. You don't know what's going on.
If I didn't been through what I've been through in my life, I would have already been tied up.
Right.
Cause I got boys too, you know what I'm saying? And they active. My boys is active. The girls, I can't tell them what to do.
Define active, like they're with the shits?
Nah, you know what I mean? I don't know.
You don't know.
They ain't gonna tell us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna find out. Like my aunt ain't know I was active until I'm on the news.
Right.
So we ain't gonna never know.
But what do you tell your kids when it comes to stuff like gangs that you just know at some point they're gonna be confronted with as a possibility for them? Like what kind of advice do you give them and shit?
I just tell them, yo, if you get locked up, yo, I'm telling you, because I be having preachers with them, like 3-hour preachers. I get all of them and I say, yo, family meeting, we gotta talk. You know what I'm saying? When I see everybody acting different, yo, we gotta have a family meeting. And then I talk to them for like 3 hours and let them know, like, yo, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? And I put all of them in position. I say, yo, she's winning. She's in the lead right now. She's doing the best right now. You know what I mean? She's saving more money. You know what I'm saying? You in last place. You spending all your money everywhere, buying all your friends, you spending all your paycheck. You know what I'm saying? She's winning. You're not cleaning up around the house. So I put them all in competition with each other. And then I tell them, like the boys, oh, you can't be doing this, doing that, because if you get locked up, yo, we got bail money, but it's like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you now, don't go to jail. When I got locked up, nobody was there to bail me out. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm there for you, but I can't pamper you. I'm telling you now, do not get locked up. Do not do nothing. So you know what I'm saying? I be doing that every couple of weeks. I gotta do a 3-hour meeting with them.
Right.
Just to keep schooling them and keep schooling them and keep schooling them. And then I tell them jail stories. I mean, not to scare them, but I tell them how bad it is in there. Like, yo, this is what happened when you get in there. I mean, I was in the box 2 years. I was in one cell for 2 years, talking to myself, looking at the car driving by. I mean, looking at the cars, counting the cars. Yo, that's counting red cars. Yo, red. 2 red cars. 4 red cars. Talking to nobody. I was playing chess with somebody through the vent. I mean, you got to make the chessboard. You put I'm A1. I put it on A1. You got to put A1, A2, A3, and I put chess. Yo, I got you. Checkmate.
Your kids know about you slashing somebody's face and shit?
Nah.
You didn't specifically get into that one?
Maybe if they watch the interview and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they got to be old enough to watch like the math author shit and all that, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah. They know, but they don't bring it up to me. You know what I'm saying? But I try to tell them it's the scary part of it. It wasn't really me. It was just that's jail life. If you go to jail, you never know. I supposed to do 3 years, but I did 6. You know what I mean? They try to make us do 10 years, but I almost got 30 years. So it's like once you in jail, it's hard to get out of there. It ain't just you go in there, then that's it. It's hard to get out of there.
What's the worst thing you ever caught one of your boys doing?
What, in jail?
No, just in general. Like the worst thing that you caught one of your sons doing that like you had to figure out how to discipline them?
Man, nothing too crazy. I don't want to blow them up.
Okay.
I try to keep them good because, you know what I mean? Some of them know their dad is, you know what I mean, Shea Davis and stuff like that, so I don't be want to put too much pressure on them. What
would you do if you found a fucking gun in one of their backpacks?
Nah, they good with that. Depends on...
You'd be kind of proud?
Nah.
No. Okay. Sabotage your whole fatherhood campaign.
Like you said, it depends.
Depends.
Depends on what you're doing. If it's licensed, and you know what I'm saying.
But
a different state, it depends.
Different state, yeah.
Yeah,
but in New York, it's not really an option.
Yeah, if it's illegal, it's different. But if you got a licensed gun,
right?
You know what I'm saying.
So, what year did you start claiming OTF?
Oh, I made that. I wasn't claiming. I made that.
You made it, yeah.
Yeah, I made that in like '97.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, because my aunt was coming to see me, but she wound up having kids and stuff like that. So my visits was kind of slowing up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all my friends was really like my family to me. You know what I'm saying? Plus I was in Kaksaki. Everybody in there got life. So I only had a little bit of time, but the way I move in there, they thinking, I got life too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, only the family. You know what I'm saying? Y'all my family, yo, only the family, man, OTF. And plus I used to go on visits. When I was going on visits, I used to see people with their kids, them and their moms and stuff like that. So I liked it that. And I said in my mind, I said, yo, when I go home, I ain't gonna lie, I wanna have a family. Even though that's what I came home and did, that had the wife and 4 kids. But that was always in my mind, like I want to have a family. So I was big on family stuff, especially I had a lack of family when I was 9 years old, like I told you. I only had my grandmother and then she died, and then, you know what I mean? So it was a lack. It was just me and my aunt. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a lack of family. So I was big on family. Even to this day, I'm still big on like family, just having a family. So I started that in like 97.
But so then 2012 or so, Lil Durk comes out on the scene, and then he's got his own OTF thing going on. And there was like some videos where you were basically telling him he wasn't allowed to claim that and shit like that. So what was your perspective? And did you ever run into him?
Yeah, I ran into him a couple of times. When he first started, it was love. To be honest with you, I was loving it. I'm not mad at it right now. When I was saying that, I was in my feelings. It's like somebody took your chick from you.
Because especially back then, it's like the internet wasn't as big and shit. So it's like they're in Chicago. They don't know what the fuck's going on in New York. You know?
Nah, they know. They definitely know because.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not nothing against them, but you gotta understand the smacks was everywhere.
True, yeah.
You know what I mean? All over. In Chicago, too. Even in Chicago, they was telling me, yo, your name is ringing out here. So Chicago, we was heavy in Chicago. So now, you know, they got Brick Squad. You know what I mean? That's Waka Flocka. They got this, they got that. They got different stuff that New York had.
I was talking about that with No Limit Cairo, I think, the other day.
No Limit, No Limit.
Every gang from out there, Young Money, like all the shit, Money, all is like, because they were such young kids that when you're a young ass kid, what do you do if you're going to create a crew or whatever?
I got footage. I seen footage with Rondo number 9. He locked up. I seen footage with him. He like 10 years old. I'm going to show you the footage. He like 10 years old saying, yo, film me. He said, film me, act like we doing the smack. He said, act like we doing the smack. That's what he said on his own mouth. So that means they watching us.
Yeah.
And I was the #1 dude on the smack. And I was saying every video, OTF, even the one with the guns go blam, that's what I was saying. Gun go blam, OTF, only the fan. I was the only one doing that. We got tattoos. I had a whole crew, a whole wave, the whole South Side, Queens, Bronx, New York. We all was shot on that. So now, when Durk and them came out, that was 03, 04. Remember, I started it in 97 in jail, but nobody really knew. And then 03, 04, I was saying it on DVD, so it got a little bit louder.
Right.
And it was a common thing for me to say it in all my rhymes. So it's OTF, only the fan. And then, you know, like, I guess 7 years later, little Durk and them was saying it. You know what I mean? My boy Bonds was like, yo, you gotta, I forgot, I think it was Bonds. Yeah, I think it was Bonds. He's like, yo, you gotta see, it was just that song that I don't like. He's like, yo, Chief Keef, yo, this nigga, yo, they remind me of us. I said, word. He showed me the video. I liked it. I was like, oh. And then Little Reese said in the video, he said, OTF. He said that in the verse. I was like, yo, I caught it. I said, oh, snap, yo, he said OTF. But I ain't paying no mind. And then later on, I started seeing more videos OTF, because everybody could say OTF. But then when I seen the Only the Family, what it was for, I said, oh, snap, that's crazy. Maybe they was just watching the smacks and stuff like that. It was, you know what I mean, showing homage.
But when you ran into him, it was all good. You weren't angry or anything?
When I ran into Little Reese first. He was at the club in Queens. He was with I think he was Joel Santana or somebody, and one of his guys, I forgot, the OTF.
By the way, we were just saying, Fredo Santana named himself after Joel Santana.
Yeah.
Which is like just another level of like their fandom for that era in New York shit.
That's why it was all love. Nah, I came, it's still love. But like you said, when it was, I forgot who the OTF, I forgot he got killed, the manager. I seen him in front of the club.
Chino?
I think so, yeah, dogs can do, right? I seen him in front of the club. I was like this. I was like, yo, because somebody said, yo, this is the manager. I knew they was gonna be there that day, Little Reese and them. So I seen the man. I was like, yo, what's good? Yo, Shea Davis. He's like, nah, I know who you is, yo. I said, OTF. I said, yo, Little Reese with you? He's like, yeah, he right there, he coming. And then I turned around and Little Reese was coming. Then I seen him in front of the club. I was like, oh shit, what up, boy, Little Reese, what up, yo, Shea? And he's like this, yo, it's good. Then I was like, yo, OTF, this is how we get a 5. I mean, that couldn't, you know what I mean? This is how we get a 5, something like this. Yo, what's good? I was like, yo, this is how we do it. Like, yo, you know, New York. It was all love. Then I went in the club with them. So now as we go in the club, you know what I mean? I got fans in there because we in New York. So we go in the strip club, everybody on my neck, oh, yo. And Little Reese was with us, but he was really with Joel's and them. But you know what I mean? He was coming in with me because he was feeling my vibe, Little Reese. So once I got in the club, the fans made it even worse. So once he seen the fans going crazy, he's like, oh shit, yo, it's lit. So he was with me for like 2 minutes, and we taking pictures and all that. And he was like, oh shit, yo, Little Reese, yo, shit, they OTF. And then Joel's came and got, he said, yo, we over here. And then I was like, all right, yo, go with Joel. So he went with Joel's, and he was chilling with them in there. And then I caught him again with Little Durk this time. Little Durk came to another club they had to perform. And I seen Little Durk, and he was with Little Reese. You know what I'm saying? Then I seen Little Durk, and I was like, yo, what's good, boy? And I got his number and all that. I was like, yo, what's good, boy? Let's patch in. We good. OTF, Chicago, I like that. You know what I mean? You know, we New York. I wasn't saying nothing about I started there, and all that was irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that's what's up. I like that. You know what I mean? They making it, you know what I mean? That's what we want anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, what's up, what's up? And then we got cool. We got his number. I sent them mad videos where one of my OTF videos like, yo, I fuck with it. We going to work. I was like, yeah, let's do it, boy, whenever you ready. And then, you know, I seen him on Sway in the morning. And then, you know, that's the only thing I got my feelings was involved. Okay.
Because Sway asked him about it?
Yeah, he asked. He said, where did it start and all that. So, you know, I got my fans, too. They know, you know what I mean, that started it in New York. So it wasn't no hard feelings. But it's like, if this is my girlfriend, you see me with my wife, and then next thing you know, he's claiming the wife. I'm saying, nah, this is my wife. We started getting together back in the day, so my feelings was hurt. It's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. So I had to defend myself to my fans. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was thinking, because I was, you know what I mean? I wasn't thinking right. It's just my feelings was involved because he was with my wife. So I said, yo, my nigga, what are you doing? Yo, man, yo. Then I got in my feelings. Then, you know, my friends, my family around me like, yo, word, that's not right. And then I did that. You know what I'm saying? But as time go by, it was like, yo, you know what? I was bugging. I ain't had to, you know what I mean? Let them rock, man. They doing what they do, you know what I'm saying? They actually help the situation, really, you know what I mean? There's more people, they saying original OTF and this and that, even though, you know what I mean? I don't really like that either, but it's like, yo, man, it's all one situation, really. It's just OTF, only the family. know what I mean? I got a lot of fans too that's saying OTF that I say, yo, you can do it. Yo, can I get a tattoo? Yeah, get a tattoo. So it's all love, you know what I mean? It's just that I didn't want to get left out the picture, like, to my fans, like, yo, who, because they weight was going up so high.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you want to know who birthed it. You know what I'm saying? Who birthed that situation. But right now, it's like, it's all love, you know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. What like being from the Bronx, it must be kind of crazy to see the whole drill scene from there taking off and having the street shit be so.
I see you had Shea G's and Use G's up here.
Yeah.
My boy man is the murder.
Oh, nice.
He was here with the dreads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they doing.
They're sick. They're fucking out of their minds though. Like the just like the blending of the street shit and the rap shit. Whereas like, you know, I'm sure you had all kinds of like people you had beef with and different shit going on in the streets. But when I'm like watching your videos on YouTube, you're not really like telling people exactly what the fuck is going on. Whereas a lot of these drill rappers are just laying it out there for people.
But you know, with them, you got to give them you got to let them do what they do. They young. I mean, they going to do it. They going to do it anyway. They don't know. I was doing it a little bit like that. When they young, they you know what I mean? When they get a certain age, when they start getting 35, 30, they going to switch up. 40, they going to switch it up. But right now, they young. They don't know the world yet. So you got to let them do what they do. They going to do it. It's messed up if they get blackballed and stuff like that because they don't know what they doing. But I understand the companies, too, if they don't want to book them for shows and stuff like that. So that'll help them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you go through, it helps you be a better person.
But it's kind of the opposite in a way because I see these labels flying out all these Bronx drill rappers and signing them. And like, they love it. They're dying to be a part of this shit.
That's true.
Meanwhile, like, I remember even having a conversation with the guy who signed K-Flock, and he was trying to get me an interview with him and everything. And I'm on YouTube, and like as soon as I get done watching the music videos, I start watching like Instagram live clips of him pulling up to his ops blocks and talking crazy shit and violating people and screaming at people and challenging them to come out and fight him and shit. And I'm telling the dude from the label, I'm like, bro, I'm watching these videos of him on live and his enemies' projects and shit. This dude is fucking crazy. And the guy who signed him is just like, oh, really? I haven't seen anything like that. That sounds nuts. I'm like, this is so crazy that you just gave this fool like $1 million and you don't even know about the fact.
He's locked up now too, right?
And now he's locked up for shooting somebody, well, killing somebody, allegedly. Hopefully.
Allegedly. Nah, he didn't do that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. The drill rap is kind of control, but you know, they young. They need people like us or somebody to be molding them to do that. Even though we still could do that, like I'm doing that with my kids. But if they go and shoot somebody, it's like it's out of our hands. Sometimes you can't. They got to learn from experience.
Right.
Going through experience really help you. You know what I mean, help you. Saying when you get spanked, then you know it hurt. You know
it's just weird for the young kids and stuff too, because I'm sure that like your kids, like if they look at like all the popular street rappers and shit, it's like they're all kind of talking about violent shit, and it just makes it so that it's like there's less of an option for a young kid of something that they could listen to that is not on that type of time. Now, of course, they can listen to J. Cole, they can listen to Kendrick. There's all kinds of shit out there, but I don't know. A lot of kids don't necessarily seem as interested in that sort of shit.
They listening to that. They definitely, my son be blasting it loud. I let him rock though. He blasting Polo G, all them loud.
Right.
In the crib. Young NBA young boy.
Yeah.
This is one of his favorite artists. But it's, you know what I mean? My son just dropped me off. He dropped me off at the airport. He playing Roddy Wave. He not too bad. He ain't, you know
Rod Wave, yeah.
Rod Wave. He ain't too crazy, but
yeah, he's on that emotional sad guy time.
Yeah. Well, he was making me feel sad but it is what it is, man. I was listening to Cool G rap. But that didn't make me, I ain't gonna lie, that ain't make me go shoot people. I was just listening to it because I like what he was saying.
Right.
But, I mean, it's just that the world made me do what I had to do.
Right.
I mean, the world was being bad.
Well, if you look at like what made Cool G Rap different was the fact that he had like a sort of artistic perspective on like rapping, and he was saying like interesting things about it, and he would talk about street shit, but he would talk about it in like interesting ways. And sometimes that is what I kind of worry about with the drill stuff, is that sometimes it's like there's very little artistry. Sometimes it's just all just brutality, and that kind of worries me sometimes. Of like, I wonder how hip hop could get going in a direction that is a little bit less violent, but still appeals to the kids.
In a minute, they're gonna try to cut their whole mouthpiece off. So if they cut their mouthpiece off, it's over. You know what I'm saying, but hopefully they don't do that. But if they do, then it's nothing you could do.
In terms of the cops, you feel like they could just make drill rap illegal?
And not
at
only
some
that,
point?
like the promoters and stuff like that.
Well, you already kind of see it in New York, where it's like none of these drill kids are getting booked in New York.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no way.
Because a few of them, I ain't gonna say no name, but a few of them, they be calling my phone like, yo. I'm like, yo, the same. I don't know if that was me too. I don't know. That's probably why I ain't get a deal, because I had the guns in the video. Because I know everywhere I went, it was everybody acting nervous. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even on that type of time. It's just that, you know what I mean? I attract that type of people. So it looked like my entourage just looked like a whole bunch of retarded people with me. So it's like, yo, who that? Yo, don't even bring out no papers. They look like they don't even know how to read.
I mean, New York cops were hating on hip hop way before the drill era, and the drill era is way more violent than a lot of hip hop was back in the day. So it's like, to them, this is just an automatic thing. They got to shut down. And I'll talk to some of these young dudes sometimes, and they talk about getting booked at shows and having the show shut down at the last minute.
That's what's happening.
And yeah, it's not really too surprising. Yeah.
So, you know, it's going to switch. It always switches. You know what I'm saying? Drill rapping had its phase for like the last 10 years probably. And then it's going to be something new.
I wonder, though. Or the question is because Atlanta drill is like in the formative stages. It's just starting to take off. So I wonder, is that going to take over Atlanta now? Because then you would have three of the biggest New York or American cities kind of focused on it. Whereas I've never heard anybody talk about LA drill.
Oh,
still haven't seen that. But like, there's like violent ass like gangster rap out of LA, but it's not like a specific sound or like scene. I don't know. But like LA gangster rap shit is so old and so like, you know, there's like a lot of politics and OGs involved. So I feel like rappers are less inclined to just make crazy ass songs about killing everybody.
That's why with the drill, we just need the OGs probably to just help them, guide them in a way. But we could still do that, but like you said, everybody learned from trial and error. I had to learn from going to jail. Other than that, I'm good. And I'm gonna keep doing it. I gotta learn from trial and error. Once I go through something, then it's like, yo, that's why I'm not doing that now. Cause I went through the trial and I almost got 30 years. Once I had that 30 years on my mind, I was like, yo, even when I was on Rikers Island, I was like, yo, 30 years? Damn, I'm gonna be in here forever. I said, nah, this can't be. So when they let me go, it was like, oh, snap, it was over for me. So that's what these drill rappers and certain people gotta go through. That's just how life is. I'm saying, once they go through that, they're gonna change.
Yeah, a lot of them probably have to like learn some lessons. It's just a shame if you get caught with a gun in New York and you got to go to jail for like 3 years or 4 years, whatever it is, just to learn your lesson, like lesson number one, because then that's going to fuck up the rest of your life in terms of getting a job and having a career and all this kind of shit. So it's like, it's a very expensive lesson to learn early on in your life, you know? Even
like you said with Bobby Shmurda, see how he did that? Now he come home, he don't even want to do that type of music no more because it just changed you. The jail changed you. Other than that, we don't know no better. We good with the guns on us and moving around like this and spanking niggas and shooting niggas. We thinking that's normal because we really don't know. This is the environment we grew up in.
And it's crazy because I seen Bobby Shmurda like doing a song with some GD rapper, and then like he's getting hate for it from people that are still more into the gang shit. But it's like he clearly doesn't give a fuck about like who he's supposed to be enemies with and shit like that. Like that might have been who he was when he got caught up for shooting at somebody, but then the jail time changed him and I think made him less interested in that shit, which is not always how it happens.
And that's what it's doing that to me too. Like I'm really, you know what I mean? But I still rap like that, but I'm talking about past tense mostly.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's really most of the stuff we know. And you know what I mean? We around these type of people and this is the type of stuff that's going on. So we know it's a good and a bad. That's why you could put the music out and then they got people like you who got the podcast where we could talk so they could get both sides of the story. Like, oh, this is just music. You know what I mean? Then when they see us talking, it's like, oh, nah, it ain't. You know what I mean? He just talking past tense. Yeah, it's like, really just music. Like,
what's it like for you at this point, like doing interviews and shit over the past couple of years and like people kind of getting to know the real grown, mature version of you versus like during that whole DVD era and shit, it was less long form interviews and obviously you were a younger version of yourself who was a different person.
Yeah, I mean, it's way better, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people ain't know, you know what I mean, like my personality. They just thought I was just a wild cat. You know what I'm saying? Really, that ain't really me. I was just rapping. Of course, when I'm, you know what I mean, rapping, I'm doing entertainment. That's me. But I'm really, like you said, I'm the quiet person that's really just in the cut, just quiet. Like, and I'm moving like a sniper, really, like with the bushes on me in the cut. That's really my style. But as being an entertainer, once I'm on a smack and I'm entertaining, I'm doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so now they see me on the podcast. It's like, this is really, I'm just a regular dude like y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But this is where I came up from. So this is all I know. I'm really from the hood. I'm from the gutter. So my brain experience can't go too far. This is like the same thing with the drill rappers. I can't really think of too much. You know what I'm saying? But this is all I know. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm hearing. This is, if I FaceTime people, this is what they doing. This is jail calls, JPay. It's everything. It's all 24 hours of this. You know what I'm saying? And then so now when I go in the booth, this is how it comes out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
It's real shit. So what are you working on and what are you excited about in life right now?
Right now I'm just trying to go to this next level with this production, really. I'm trying to do this production. Hopefully I could start on these shows and, you know what I mean, do a couple shows and the movies as well. I want to produce some movies and let me start acting in some movies. I've been talking about this for a long time. Even though I did a few movies, you know what I mean, before like with the rap joint, like I did the Gun Go Blam. It was like a movie. I did a whole series behind it.
Right.
And then I just stopped doing it because I was doing other stuff. But I want to get back into that, back into the entertainment world, like movies and then producing shows and stuff like that. Cause that's the new wave. It's like upgrading your phone. I just got my YouTube. I mean, I never upgraded my system.
Right.
I just, you know what I mean? And plus I put it to the side for a minute because like you said, it was getting overwhelming. And so I just had to put it to the side and be a normal, like just a regular civilian for a little second.
But so doing all that smack type content and everything, that kind of gave you an appetite for trying to do shit in terms of more serious films and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I want to do. I like directing. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at directing. Like directing situations. You know what I'm saying? It's like even when I'm with my crew or whoever I'm with, my family or my peoples, I'm good at directing what we should do from here and how to do the next move. And stuff like that. So you know what I mean? Then I write. I like to write a lot. I write all day, every day. So I got scripts written. My wife got scripts written. I got, you know what I mean, stuff in my head. It just, so I want to put it out and just let it go. You know what I'm saying? So I just got to stop talking about it and just really do it. You know what I'm saying? Just put everything in place.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was good getting to have the conversation and see where you've been at and what's going on with your life and everything. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
Definitely. And if people want to tap in, what's the YouTube channel? What should they search up?
Yeah, go to my joint. It's Shea Davis OTF. That's my YouTube. And then my Instagram is Shea Davis OTF. Then I got Facebook. It's Shea Punch Davis. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. Twitter is Blam DVD, but I don't really be on there that much.
Right.
You know I'm saying? I don't really be on none of them too much, but I go on there, throw a picture up and stuff like that, Instagram and Facebook. And then my YouTube, I just do a mixtape up there, Fire Drill. It's called Fire Drill, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to drop an album in probably February. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I call it a little marketing streaming situation. So I just do the mixtape up just for YouTube to get the YouTube going, but it's going to be on all streaming platforms probably in like 3 weeks. You know what I mean? They help with the managing the streams and all stuff like that, so we're going to work on that.
Nice.
So that's why I just threw the project out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody tap in. I appreciate your time, man.
Tap in, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Much love.
Adam 22, much love.
My gosh. Shea Davis, thank you. No Jumper. Coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Instagram.
Steph, what up, boy?
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
What up, Steph? Like, comment, and subscribe. NoJumper.com. You want to support. Bow.
Hey.